One card can get you suspended from a World Cup knockout match. Another can instantly destroy your team's chances. And one tiny yellow card rule has ended World Cup dreams before they even began. But here's the crazy part. Most fans don't actually know the difference between all the cards. So in the next 5 minutes, you'll understand every FIFA World Cup card and exactly why referees reach into their pockets. Let's start with the card you'll see the most. The yellow card is basically football's final warning. Think of it like your teacher saying, one more time and you're out. Players get yellow cards for things like dangerous tackles, wasting time, arguing with the referee, or stopping attacks unfairly. But here's where it gets interesting. A yellow card doesn't just affect that match. It can affect your entire tournament. Keep that in mind because it'll matter later. One bad challenge today could mean missing a huge match next week. And that's exactly what has happened to countless World Cup stars. But if yellow is the warning, what happens when the referee reaches for red? The red card is football's ultimate punishment. One flash of red and you're gone. Immediately, your team must continue with only 10 players. No replacement, no second chance. And this tiny detail changed everything in multiple World Cups. One of the most famous examples happened in 2006. French legend Zidane headbutted Marco Materazzi in the World Cup final. The referee showed a red card. Just like that, Zidane's final match ended early, and France eventually lost the trophy. What happened next shocked millions of fans around the world. But sometimes players don't even need a straight red to get sent off, and this is where most fans get confused. A player receives one yellow card, they're still safe. A second yellow? Game over. The referee shows another yellow, then immediately pulls out a red. The player is sent off. Why? Because 2 warnings mean you've crossed the line. Simple. But here's where it gets crazy. The second yellow becomes just as damaging as a direct red card. Your team still loses a player. And now tournament rules start becoming very important. Remember when I said yellow cards can affect future matches? This is why. In the World Cup, collecting too many yellow cards across different games can trigger a suspension. So even if you never get a red card, you can still miss a match. Imagine helping your country reach the round of 16, then being forced to watch from the stands. This has happened to many players throughout World Cup history. One small booking, then another, and suddenly they're unavailable when their team needs them most. But suspension rules get even more interesting. Not every suspension works the same way. A direct red card usually leads to at least a 1-match ban, sometimes more, especially if the foul was violent. Meanwhile, yellow card suspensions depend on accumulation totals. This tiny detail can completely change a tournament. Imagine losing your best defender before a quarterfinal, or your star striker before a semifinal. That's why players constantly balance aggression and discipline. But FIFA found an even stranger way to use cards. What happens if 2 teams finish tied on points, and tied on goal difference, and tied on goals scored? Believe it or not, cards can decide who advances. This system is called fair play points. Fewer yellow and red cards means a better score. More cards means a worse score. And yes, teams have actually been separated by this rule. The most famous example came at the 2018 World Cup. Japan and Senegal were tied on points, goal difference, and goals scored. The difference? Japan had received fewer yellow cards. That tiny detail sent Japan into the knockout stage and sent Senegal home. One team's discipline literally kept their World Cup dream alive, while another team's cards ended their tournament. But modern football added another twist. Enter VAR, Video Assistant Referee. Sometimes referees review footage and completely change their decision. A yellow card can become a red, a missed foul can suddenly lead to punishment. Even if the referee misses something live, the cameras might not. And this is where players can no longer hide from crucial moments. But special World Cup situations can make card decisions even more dramatic. Extra time, penalty shootouts, last-minute reviews. One decision can change football history forever. Imagine spending 4 years preparing for a World Cup, only to see your dream shattered by one reckless tackle. That's why every player must constantly balance passion with control. Because in the World Cup, every card matters. So let's recap. Yellow card equals a warning. Red card equals immediate dismissal. Second yellow equals a red card. Accumulation equals suspension. Fair play points can decide tournament rankings. And VAR can upgrade or create card decisions. Now, you'll never be confused when the referee reaches into his pocket during the next World Cup. And before you go, I want to know something. What's the most controversial red card you've ever seen in football history? Was it Zidane's headbutt in the 2006 World Cup final? Or another moment that still makes fans argue today? Comment your answer below. And if this video helped you understand football a little better, share it with a friend who still gets confused by yellow and red cards. Because trust me, they'll thank you during the next World Cup. See you in the next one.